Hey guys, it's been a while. Hope you're all doing great, happy and healthy. I'm Shalini from Bharathidhasanar Matric High Secondary School, Arakkonam. Children, do you like to travel in train or how you'll make your train journey a little more interesting? Can you tell me? Oh, you'll read books. Superb. Then, anything. You listen to songs. Okay. So there are so many, plenty of things to do or to make your train journey more interesting, right? Like reading books or like listening to music or popping in your headsets or watching movies or series. And what then? Yes, we'll socialize ourselves. Socializing means, yes, we'll get a great time to meet strangers and make them as friends, right? Yes, so we'll do these things in a usual way. But today, I'm here too. Or we are all going to travel in a different train or quite interesting journey called The Woman on Platform 8, written by Ruskin Bond. Okay, so Ruskin Bond is an Indian writer, okay, and he was born in 19th May 1934 at Kausali in Himachal Pradesh, and he now lives in Lander, Missouri. So Ruskin Bond is known as the icon among Indian writers, and he is known as a top novelist, and he wrote more than 500 stories, that is short stories, and when he was at the age of 17 he wrote his first novel called The Room on the Roof. And some of his famous novels are The Night Train at Deoli, Time Stops at Shamli, Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra, The Flight of Pigeons, and The Blue Umbrella. And he was awarded Padma Shri in 1999 for children's literature and Sahitya Akademi Award for the book Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra in 1992 and John Lelevan Rice Memorial Prize in 1957. So he is regarded as one of the literary stalwarts of 20th century. Adavadhu Dadan solvom illaya. So he is called as a literary stalwart of 20th century. So this is all about the author description about Ruskin Bond. Okay. So now, yes, now let us look into the story. So there are four main characters in the story. They are Arun, a woman, Satish, and Satish's mother. So here Arun is narrator of the story. Okay. So through this we come to know that Ruskin Bond, that is the author, disguised himself as a narrator in this story, and he named the narrator as Arun. So Arun is of 12 years old. Arun is of 12 years old and he is kind-hearted boy. Okay. Then a woman. A woman here is a stranger. A woman is a stranger here and she looks like she has a pale face and dark kind eyes, and her age was about 30 years old, maybe over 30 years old. Okay. So then Satish, yes, Satish is Arun's class fellow, that is Arun's classmate. Satish is Arun's class fellow, that is Arun's classmate. Satish's mother was also 30 years old. She was also 30 years old and she looks like a large and stern woman with spectacles. Spectacles means specs. Okay. So these are all the characters in the story called The Woman on Platform 8. Clear? So now let us see. Yes. So now let us see what has happened in the story and who actually the woman is. Let us see that. Yes. It was my second year at boarding school and I was sitting on platform number 8 at Ambala station waiting for the northern bound train. I think I was about 12 at the time. My parents considered me old enough to travel alone, and I had arrived at Ambala early in the evening. Now there was a wait till midnight before my train arrived. Most of the time I had been pacing up and down the platform, browsing at the bookstall or feeding broken biscuits to stray dogs. Trains came and went, and the platform would be quiet for a while, and then when a train had arrived, it would be an inferno of heaving, shouting and agitated human bodies. So here Arun is of 12 years old. See here it refers to Arun. Okay. So here Arun studying at boarding school, and he was at second year in his boarding school. And one day he was waiting for his train at platform number 8 at Ambala station. Actually Ambala station is located in Delhi. It is a city name, so that's why it is called as Ambala station. Then I think I was about 12 at the time. My parents considered me old enough to travel alone, and I had arrived by bus at Ambala early in the evening. So his parents had thought that he was old enough to travel alone. But his train was at midnight. It used to come at midnight, but he came earlier to the platform by evening. So he was waiting for a long time. It was a long time. Then he has to pass his time, right? So what he did? Yes. So he did, most of the time I had been pacing up and down the platform, browsing at the bookstall or feeding broken biscuits to stray dogs. So here he was watching whatever went on the platform. So usually we will do that, right? When the train has not come, what you will do? Yes, we'll look at the platform or we'll look at the people, we'll gaze out everywhere. So we'll do these things. Likewise, Arun also pacing up. What do you mean by pacing up? Pacing. Yes, pacing means it's a kind of movement, like going forward and backward. Okay. So pacing means going forth and back. Clear? So pacing up means going forth and back, that is moving front and back. And down the platform, browsing at the bookstall. Yeah, we'll go and visit the bookstall, right? If it is bored, we'll read a books in platform. So he did that. Then, or feeding broken biscuits to stray dogs. Stray dog means abandoned dog or a dog which has no home. Okay, stray dogs means a dog which has no home. Okay. So he was giving the broken biscuits to stray dogs, and train came and went. So train came and went, but the platform would be quiet for a while, and then when a train arrived, it would be an inferno of heaving. So what do you mean by inferno of heaving? It means a busy noise or a busy crowd. So that is called inferno of heaving. Busy crowd. Okay. So shouting, agitated human bodies. Agitated means again anxiety or nervous or upset or disturbed mind. Okay. So that is called agitated. Agitated means anxiety. Okay. So he saw these kind of peoples in the platform. So he saw the inferno of heaving, that is the busy crowd here and there, and he saw the agitated human bodies. Agitated means some disturbed kind of human beings there. So these are the things that were watched or seen by Arun in the platform 8. Okay, there is a question for you. Where was Arun sitting? Can you tell me? Yes, Rahul, you're right. So Arun was sitting on the platform number 8. Okay. So the next question is, how would be the platform when the train arrived? Can anyone give at least a try? Give a try. Yes? Yes, Kishore, you are right. So it would be an inferno of heaving, shouting and agitated human bodies. Clear? So he saw these things at the platform number 8. Clear? So now let us see the next thing. Yes. So he also saw the trolleys rolled and he was conscious of the cries of the vendors. Usually you will see the rolling trolleys in the platform, right? Somebody used to see, look here. So he used to roll the trolleys on the platform. So likewise he saw the rolled trolleys there and he was conscious of the cries of the vendors. So vendors means shopkeeper or sellers, okay, shopkeepers or sellers. So he hears the cries of the vendors. Cries means the shouting thing of the vendors, like they used to sell something in the window, right? So that is called the cries of the vendors. So these things were watched or seen by Arun at the platform number 8 till train arrives. Okay. So now let us see the conversation between the woman and the boy. So just then Arun heard a soft voice behind him. So she was a lady over 30 years and she dressed in a white sari and she wore no jewels but had some dignity about her. And she asked Arun that he was alone, and Arun replied, or he told her that he was alone and his train would come only at midnight. But he usually wait for train early in the evening, right? But his train would come only at midnight. So she was shocked by seeing him because he was all alone in the platform. So then she called Arun to come for the refreshment room, that is dining room in platform. Okay. So then they went to the dining room and there the woman brought him tea, jalebis and samosas, but he refused her. Why? Because he suspected her. So what will you do if someone or some stranger calls you like this? Can you tell me? Yes. So we'll suspect them, will not trust them, right? Because they are stranger, will not go with them. But here Arun could not do so because he trusted her more and more. Why? Because she was very kind-hearted. She was very kind-hearted. She was very soft in her questions about Arun. Then they were eating. At that time, they saw some incident. What's that incident? Any guesses? Yes, the incident was a boy jumping across the railway tracks besides when engine was coming. So this was the incident. After seeing this, she was frightened and pained, and then she dug her fingers into Arun's flesh, and she calmed down only the boy reached the other side of the platform. So she was very shocked and she was very frightened. And later, after seeing this, she held Arun's hand gratefully and she smiled in a beautiful way, and they both went to the same place where the Arun suitcase was placed. So till this, the first part gets over. In next class or in next session, in section 2, we'll see what happened to Arun or how the story continues or who actually the stranger is, that is a woman is. Okay. So now let us see some question and answer. The question is, are you alone, my son? How did Arun react when he heard the voice of stranger? Can you please tell me the answer? How did he react? Yes, Arun replied in the affirmative and said that he was going to school and he was very happy on seeing that woman. So the second question is, how did bond between Arun and the stranger develop? How was the bond between Arun and stranger? They were very kind, and Arun liked the stranger for she seemed to kind, sympathetic and understandable, and she took him to the station dining room and made him eat some food, and Arun felt comfortable in her company. So yes, so stranger was very kind and soft in her questions about Arun, and she heard everything about Arun in a soft way. So that's why Arun was impressed by her kind manner. Through this story, we come to know that how strangers may help us or how they love us more than those who know to us. Okay. So this is all about the first part of the story, the woman on platform number 8. So now I would like to recap what we have seen so far. So the story starts with the characteristics of Arun, right? So Arun was a 12-year-old boy and he was studying at boarding school, and he was all alone in the platform because after vacation he was going to school. So he was all alone at the Ambala station. Then he was very bored because he was all alone. So he was gazing the platform where he saw so many things at the platform. That is the inferno of heaving and heavy crowd or disturbed human beings. So he saw these things in the platform. Then there was some conversation between a boy and a woman. Immediately he saw a woman behind him. So she was speaking something with Arun, but Arun don't know who's her. So, but she looks like a good lady, a kind-hearted lady. She called him to the dining room or to the refreshment room, and they both became friendly with each other. And when they returned back from the dining room, they saw some incident. So the incident was a boy jumping across the railway tracks beside in which the engine was coming. So here you should be very careful when you cross the railway tracks, because if you get struck, your whole life will be struck, right? So be very careful when you cross the cross the railway tracks. So then finally they both went to the same place, that is to the platform, and where the Arun's suitcase was placed, and there they saw Arun's class fellow. Who is Arun's class fellow? Yes, Arun's class fellow is Satish. So they saw Satish and Satish's mother. So till this your first part gets over. So from next class I'll teach you the remaining part of the story. So until then, take care, be happy, be safe, healthy, and thanks for your active listening, children. We'll travel again in the same train. So good luck everyone. Bye bye.